All right, let's talk about that spark, that brilliant idea you have for an app or a website. How do you take that idea and turn it into a real, tangible digital product that people don't just use, but actually love to use? That's what we're diving into. You've been there, right? You download a new app, and it's just amazing. Everything feels right. But then you try another one, and it's a total nightmare, just frustrating to use. Well, that huge difference between joy and headache, it's not luck. It's all by design. And that's exactly what we're going to break down. Think about it. In our world today, your app or your website, that's the front door to your business. It's the first handshake, it's the new storefront. And you know what they say about first impressions? Making that digital one count is, well, it's absolutely everything. And let's be clear, great design is not just about making things look pretty. It's a serious business tool. A really thoughtful design, it builds trust, customer allegiance. It gives you that crucial edge over the competition. It drives up those all-important conversion rates. And believe it or not, it even makes your own team more productive. It's a powerhouse. So where do you even start building something great? I mean, you wouldn't build a house by just throwing paint at a wall, right? No! You start with a plan, a solid blueprint. And in the digital world, that blueprint has a name, user experience, or UX for short. It is the absolute foundation for everything else. And this UX process, it's super logical. It just makes sense. First, you've got user research. You got to know who you're building for. Then comes information architecture, which is basically figuring out where everything goes. After that, you create a wireframe, like a simple skeleton of the app. And finally, the really cool part, prototyping and testing, where you let real people play with it to find what works and what doesn't, way before you write a single line of code. See? Each step builds right on top of the last one. Okay, this house analogy is the perfect way to understand the difference between UX and its famous partner, UI. So if UX is the architect who designs the blueprint, the structure, the flow, the foundation of the house, then UI, user interface, is the interior designer. They're the ones picking the paint colors, the cool furniture, the perfect light fixtures. So UX is all about how it works. UI is all about how it looks and feels. Simple as that. All right, so we've got our solid UX blueprint. The foundation is poured. Now for the fun part, bringing this whole thing to life. This is where the UI designers get to shine, crafting all the visual and interactive stuff that you're actually going to see and touch. So what does the UI process actually involve? Well, it's about creating the whole visual identity. That means picking the right colors and fonts during the visual design stage. They also create a style guide, which is crucial for making sure everything looks consistent. Then there's motion design, those slick little animations that make an app feel responsive and, well, alive. And yeah, they design every single button, every menu, every little piece as a distinct UI component. Now, to make all this magic happen, designers have some seriously cool tools in their belt. Let's do a quick spotlight. First up, Figma. This tool has absolutely exploded in popularity, and for good reason. It's basically like a giant shared digital whiteboard where the whole team can jump in and design stuff together all in real time. It's a game changer for collaboration. Then you've got tools like Adobe XD. These are amazing for building out those interactive prototypes we talked about. This means everyone, the client, the developers, the whole team, can actually click through the app and get a real feel for the experience, catching any awkward spots long before a developer gets involved. And sometimes, when you want to go for that extra wow factor, you'll see designers using a tool like Blender. It's a full-on 3D creation suite. We're talking custom 3D icons, cool animated characters, really complex graphics, all the stuff that can make an app's interface totally unforgettable. But here's the thing. A beautiful design is like a stunning car body. It's useless without a powerful engine under the hood. So now we need to talk about the tech, the engine, all the complex systems working together behind the scenes to make it all go. And wow, when you look at the full IT lifecycle, you realize it's a huge puzzle. It's not just about building the mobile app. It's about integrating really advanced stuff like AI or machine learning. And just as important is that slice for DevOps and quality assurance. That's the unsung hero, the continuous process of testing and updating to make sure the app is fast, smooth, and super secure for everyone using it. Okay, so that's all the theory. But how does this stuff actually work in the real world? Let's get into the proof. We're going to look at a couple of real-world examples to see how all these design and tech principles come together to solve actual problems for actual people. So, to see how this works at a really pro level, we're looking at work from a studio that's been in the game for over 7 years. That's a ton of experience, and it gives us a great look at how these ideas get applied again and again across all sorts of different projects. Because at the end of the day, what's the goal? It's to make something people genuinely love using. And when you get this whole process right, and you do it at scale, the results can be huge. We're talking a user base of over 200,000 satisfied customers. That's a lot of people finding real value in these products. All right, let's look at a specific example, the Park Parking app. We've all felt that pain, right? Driving in circles, trying to find a spot, fumbling for change. This app was designed to tackle that universal headache head-on, making the whole process of finding, reserving, and paying for parking simple and completely stress-free. And listen to what the CEO Jason had to say. He points out something really important. The final product wasn't just stable and ready for users, it was also so well designed that it was easy to present to investors. And that, right there, shows you the power of good design. It works for the user, and it works for the business. Now for something completely different. Let's jump to another industry with TransGenie, which is a full-on delivery solution. This is a great example of how those same core principles we've been talking about can be used to solve totally different kinds of problems. This quote from the CEO, Daniel, is super insightful. He mentions fixing technical issues that came up along the way, and that's so real. The journey is never a perfect straight line. His comment really drives home the importance of that quality assurance and DevOps phase we talked about. It's what ensures you end up with a rock-solid product. So, I want to leave you with a little challenge. The next time you open an app that just feels right, it's intuitive, it's effortless, it just works, pause for a second. Try to see past the pretty interface. Look for the blueprint behind the beauty. See if you can spot the smart choices, the invisible structure that's making your experience so good. Because now you know exactly what it takes to build it.